Hey, are you looking for energy and looking for something that tastes great to get it? Well, look no further than Ray's Energy. All kinds of flavors, and if you use the About section link that we have and click on it, use HoppGaming at checkout. Go there right now.
Alright everybody, if you noticed, we're going to be starting from scratch with this MyLeague. Part of the problem was we had an issue with the recording, and so we ended up losing an entire year, and it caused some issues. And anyway, not long after all that happened, there were some big trades in the NBA that sent shockwaves throughout different players going to different teams and whatnot. James Harden going to Brooklyn and Oladipo going down to Houston and etc. And so um, what we're going to do is we are going to start and we are going to do just like what we did last time as far as having a league expansion um, that will start in the um, regular season. Now we're going to add 6 expansion teams, and I think I'm going to be looking to add from other people's creations. Some of them have much cooler graphics than what 2K has put on. So we're going to go search through some of these, and I'll show them to you whenever we find them, and we will go from there. That's actually a better Virginia Storm. I really like that. We're going to go with this one for Virginia. Our first added team is going to be for the Eastern Conference. I want to give credit to Miguel VC95 for the creation. So there we go. So there it is. Virginia Storm from Miguel VC95. Thanks for that. I like that. All right, right here. This is going to be what we use for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to get their team, and I'm going to use what was created by Bobo Z Monkey. So Bobo Z Monkey, your design is being used as one of the expansion teams. All right, so thank you for that. And so that gives us the Virginia Storm and the Pittsburgh Force. They're both going to be Eastern Conference because we know we want a Seattle team. Okay, we know we want a Seattle team. I want a Seattle team also that's going to have that red or orange jersey that they used to use for their. There we go. I see one right now, right there. See, you got the. I like that. I think that fits. So there you go. We are going to be using the Seattle Sonics base created by ATM Smoke God 414. So ATM Smoke God 414, thank you very much. Okay, now, um, okay, so we want something out west or somewhat west. I think Kansas City should get a team. Let's see what's out there for the Kansas City. We already saw the Scouts, the Bandits. That's definitely unique. I like that. Fresh Meat 14. Fresh Meat 14, congratulations. I'm going to be using your Kansas City Knights as a Western Conference team, technically. Since we're going to have Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and Virginia as the Eastern Conference teams that get added. We've already got Seattle in the West, and now we're going to add your Kansas City Knights team. I really liked that. Las Vegas. right? Okay, now here's the thing. I like the Aces, but the problem is, let's be honest, the Aces are the WNBA team, so I don't want to use that. And I'm not going to take a play off that and do the Jacks. I don't like the Las Vegas dealers, even though I realize they're talking about gambling casino dealers, because quite frankly, I think it has too many narcotic paraphernalia type illusions. I love the Pharaohs. I really do like that. Except the problem is the court is literally all black, and it's not that I have a necessary problem with that, but anytime I've played or watched anything like that, it's never been fun, and I don't think any real life NBA team would ever make a court like that. So that's hard. I like the Outlaws. Um, And that may be where we go, but we'll see. So let's see what else is out there. The Vipers, I have used the Vipers before. I like some of the different. I really like this. That is a really, really cool logo. Okay, this is the one we're going to use. The Las Vegas Vipers will be, the one I'm using is by Clutch Zazu Jr. Clutch Zazu Jr. You have our Vegas Vipers. Las Vegas Vipers franchise for our My League expansion. Okay, so that leaves one team left. We've already said it was going to go to Cincinnati. We've had Seattle, Kansas City, and Las Vegas for the West. Pittsburgh and Virginia have already been added, and so we are going to be adding a Cincinnati team, because I think we're just going to use this one. They're the Cincinnati Cyclones. It's not got the logo that I like, nor the color scheme, but I do like it being different than other teams. So congratulations, the Cincinnati Cyclones by BP Team is our design that we're going to use for Cincinnati. Okay, so there's the 6 teams that we are going to be adding on. The Storm, Force, Sonics, Knights, Vipers, and Cyclones into our My League. We're going to be ready to start here very soon. And so we have begun. As you can tell, we took on, we are going to load a draft class. So we are going to do right here. We're going to load up his 2021 draft class. So now we took over the Vipers. So we don't have anybody on the roster. So now we're going to see how this goes, and we're going to get ourselves set up by doing the expansion draft. All right. So now you can see everybody gets Dwight Howard is not protected. might consider him. Okay. So the expansion draft is here. We are controlling the Las Vegas Vipers in this one. So pretty excited about that. We are going to try and draft a team that we can build, and hopefully we can turn it into something special here. So here we go. We're going to choose a player. We want to be careful as far as not just skill, but also the age and the ability levels of these different guys. I mean, I like Draymond Green, but they left him unprotected because he's 30 years old and potentially can cost $89 million over 4 years. So, because he has a player option, there's no way he's going to turn that down. No way he's going to turn that down. So, my first pick, and I don't know why, but I'm taking Dwight Howard. Um, he's a 78 center that only makes $2.5 million, and he's only got 1 year on his contract. Now, how about the weird thing of R.J. Barrett being left unprotected for Virginia to snipe him? And look at some of these guys are going. The Cyclones, Cincinnati, taking Draymond Green. So that's going to be interesting. Now we're going to get two back-to-back players. We've already got ourselves a solid center. And again, I don't want to go, way out there on the cost. But I really like Boban. I may take him. I'm kind of a bargain hunter right now. I really am. I think I'm going to go with Michael Carter-Williams, and then I'm going to come back and get Boban. So I've got two really good centers and a solid shooting guard. So, and Boban is one of those guys that's extremely, extremely effective. The idea is I'm trying to save money and stuff so that I can have a good draft. I don't have any idea how it's going to play out. Now we get two more players. I don't know exactly where I want to go here. There's definitely a lot of possibilities. Shaquille Harrison's not bad. Quinn Cook's not bad. I don't know. J.J. Redick is still sitting out there, and I'm considering that. I need a good small forward. And I like Will Barton, and I like Danny Green. I don't like the idea of having to pay $13+ million for either one of them. I do like the fact that I have the option for Barton to come back for his second year, which takes less pressure off of my needing to draft somebody in that position. You look at guys that are going to come in after him. That could be a right there. Both Derrick Jones Jr. and Patrick McCaw could be diamonds in the rough for this position. Jones has a potential second year at less than $10 million a year. He's a former dunk champion. He can double as a power forward. Definitely somebody I'm considering. David Waba is another one because he makes less than $2 million. McCaw because he only makes $4 million. You also got the greatness of Williams here, because he has a 2-year contract extension, which means total cost probably about $6 to $7 million for 3 years of having a solid 73 small forward. He would be a backup, though. I wouldn't want to take him right now. As far as power forwards, I mean, Jermichael Green, bad. Myers Leonard, okay. Iguodala, Finney-Smith. I don't know if there's anybody here, and I would consider taking those two gentlemen right there, Sampson and Tate, maybe even Kevin Gailey, only because of how cheap they are. And of course, Tate and Kevin Gailey both have 2-year extensions for cheap, which makes them affordable. So what we're going to do first is we are going to take a small forward. And my first small forward, I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to pay the $15 million for Danny Green. I mainly see he's more of a defensive guy. I changed my mind. Let's do Will Barton. We're going to take Will Barton. Then we're going to come back on the clock. Okay. We're going to come back on the clock, and we're going to pick up a point guard. And we're going to give Wright his chance to be a starter. And the good thing is he has 2 years on his contract, even though it's $9 million a year. You never know what happens to somebody when they finally get the opportunity to start. It could develop them And if it truly does develop them, then suddenly you're in a pretty good position when it comes to their contract situation. Um, so as you can see, what we've gotten so far, we've got a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, and a pair of centers. I really like having Boban coming off the bench for Dwight Howard. Yes, they're both a little bit aging, so we're going to be looking for a center in the draft, obviously. But I want to get a solid power forward. I also want to get a solid shooting guard to play backup. So we're going to be looking a little bit there. Now we're getting down to where those guys could get taken. That could happen. But I like Jermichael Green. He's a little younger, not quite as, I'm going to take Jermichael Green, and then I'm going to come back and see about, oh man, Dennis Smith Jr. is available. I like Dennis Smith Jr. Don't ask me why, but I do. Hopefully I can come back and get him. Wayne Ellington's pretty cheap. I think that's where we're going to go there. So we're going to pick up Wayne Ellington as well, which is nice. So we got a power forward and a second shooting guard. So now we're also, kind of building our bench. The next two picks, I wouldn't mind getting, another power forward, and another, it's going to round out our team. I wanted to pick Dennis Smith Jr., and of course the Sonics got him. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, as you can tell. So let's see what we can do here. Inside out, he's more of a defensive guy. I really like the idea of I like his veteran presence. So we're going to go with Nwaba as our backup there. And then I think we're going to come back and take... Do we have 2 point guards? No. We're going to come back and take Shaquille Harrison. I think Shaquille Harrison gives us a good solid... we got backup small forward, backup point guard with those 2 picks. I think we're putting ourselves in a pretty good position so far in this draft. There's Etwan Moore going to Pittsburgh. Wow. Ty Jerome to the Sonics. Okay. So we got 2 centers. We got 2 of everything, almost, right? The only thing we don't have 2 of is a power forward, so we need a power forward and then whatever we want to find. So that's where we're at. Power forward, what's left? And we talked about these young men here. You talk about their defense. Tate's a floor spacer. Sampson's a finisher. The other thing about Sampson is that Sampson also gives us that defensive presence. Okay, so we got that. Overall, best players left now. You're basically looking now to find those guys that could fill other roles on your team. Could be longer term players for you. Could do a lot of different roles, and that's really what you're looking for here. Did I see Dotson? That's Devin. Not no. McCaw's not a bad pick here. Not bad there at all. I like the idea of Terrence Mann as well, being an offensive-minded wing. This is still where I would strongly consider someone like I think we're going to take that young dude, Jason Tate. We're going to go ahead and take him. He gives us a contract flexibility. He gives us competition at the power forward position. He can also play a secondary center. I got the feeling I'm still going to get at least one more draft pick. So that's going to bring him back. McCaw, as you can see, goes to Pittsburgh as well as Chris Silva. Myers Leonard goes to Kansas City. Okay, so here we are. I think I'm gonna take a flyer, and I was debating on whether or not I wanted to go this route or not. Um, because I've overall I think I'm pretty happy, but it's always nice to have a veteran who can shoot. And so I'm going to take J.J. Redick there, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to take a guy like Wesley Matthews, who can shoot the three and play defense. And I think those are two extremely good picks. I'll probably end up moving Wesley Matthews to the small forward position. And they actually may become my second string, but give me a solid veteran presence. I think I get to make one more pick. Each team gets to take 14, I believe. And so that's where we're going to be there. You know, veterans, that's a great thing to pick up on. You want to find somebody that can come in and play and maybe give you some, some real, he's disturbed. I just get a kick out of that. I don't know why. I just do. So I don't know who I want to, just the pickings are getting slim. I like Tony Snell. I don't like the contract. I mean, I have to admit, I've already got 3 power forwards. I don't really need another one. I mean, that's where we're at on centers. And we're going to go with a point guard. Think. Alright, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Brandon Goodwin. We're going to take a guy that can be our third string point guard with our final pick. Alright, so there we are. That's going to be the end of the draft. And let's look at where our team is right now. Okay? As you can see, we got Wright, Harrison, and Goodwin as our point guards. Redick, Ellington, Carter Williams, and Matthews. And as we already said that we were going to move Matthews over to the small forward position. Just makes more sense to me, I think. So let's go ahead and move that over. There. And that'll there. So, and he'll actually gain a point in his overall from 74 to 75 and take over the backup spot. I'm not sure he'll get to play that. I really think Nwaba's going to be the guy that gets the backup minutes, and Matthews is kind of that veteran center, veteran knowledge guy, but we'll see. Power forward wise, we got 3 of them, Green, Sampson, and Tate. Sampson and Tate are very young. Green's going to be the solid starter, so that's going to be good. And I still feel like we need to, in our free agent, we need to get another center because Howard and Boban are both 32 plus years old. While they don't cost us a lot of money, they only cost us a little over $6 million. I don't see a lot of future there. I might keep one of them for for another year or two. I might be willing to sign. I mean, Howard's 34, but I might be willing to give a 2 or 3 year contract to Boban to be my long-term backup, and then try to draft a center. So we'll see how that goes. But my goal here is to find a free agent center that I can be extremely excited about in the long term. Now, we don't have a lot of pickings here. I'll admit, I'm tempted to sign Pau Gasol, but then again, I'm going against what I'd like to see. I'm going against the idea just because he's a 75 center and it's Pau Gasol and he's relatively cheap. So there's really not a lot of I don't know. There's just not a lot of pickings there at center. Um, do you go with Motley? You know, do you do that? Do you go with Caleb Swanigan? Um, and I'm not really, you know. I mean, do you pick up, you know, Joakim Noah? The problem with Gasol and Noah is their age. I've already got a 32 and a 34. I don't need to add a 35 or a 40-year-old. I need to take one of these two kids that's 23 or 25, just so I've got youth there that can learn. I'll admit I like Swanigan, just because from his college days I thought he was good, but I don't like either one of their heights. I'm not a fan of the undersized center. I believe a center should be 6'11" or taller. I believe they should have that, you know, like Noah and Gasol. Um, so I'm gonna be trying to find something. You know, some of these guys here. Um, there you go. How about the ultimate long shot? Giving a 1-year contract to Bruce Griffith, who's a 7-foot, 267-pound, 19-year-old center who has the face of a 35-year-old. Let's negotiate a contract there. Let's offer him a 1-year deal, and see how that goes. You know, um, you know. Let's just offer it. There we go. We've got him. Okay, good. So now we get to take care of our coaching. We never really got a choice in who was what. Look at this guy's name. This dude's name is Poo Splitter. Oh my gosh, what a name. Oh my goodness, what a name. And Poo Splitter. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely hilarious. Um, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that I could go long term with a dude named Poo Splitter as the head coach of my team. So, odds are we're not going to finish the year with him. And I will tell you right now, at the 35 game mark, if we have not won 18 and been 18 and 17 at the 35 game mark, I'll fire him. And even if we're 17 and 18 and just one game worse than that and real close to breaking through, guess what? I'm still going to fire him because I don't like his name. Jesse Jennings is going to be our assistant coach, and Cecil Sims and Lionel Pierce. I don't know. I mean, I think I don't like the idea of getting rid of the scout, but I like the idea of bringing in somebody, since we're going to be trying to build a team. You know, so we're going to fire him. And then we're going to come after this dude. And as you can see with his skill set, I'm going to bump the salary. And so now, yes, I realize it's an Asian man named Cuba Gooding. And I don't know what to tell you. But we now have a really good head scout for the next 4 years. And I think that's actually going to help us not only in the way everybody's able to prepare, but also in the scouting reports that we get for the draft. And so that's going to be, I'm not expecting anything at all out of our head coach or even the assistant coach. They're both there for 4 years. But like I said, I could see us probably fighting, but I still can't believe his name's Pooh Splitter. Yikes. Okay, coaching game plan for all teams. Um, we're in a way, I want some of these guys to get their first real opportunity. So, and I go with the old-fashioned, um, you know, 48 minutes for each position. Um, I try to give, uh, the lion's share of the minutes to the starters. That's just what I do. Um, but as you can see, it's just kind of a weird setup because Ellington has a ton of minutes, and he's honestly not going to have it, you know? And I believe that means Sampson gets the rest. Now, as you can see, the last three on the bench is Ellington, Waba, and Tate. I am really thinking about pulling Griffith up, forcing him to be on the team. But we'll see. I really want him to gain some real possibilities. Offensive we're going to have a neutral, shoot at will, rebounding. We want some crash, others get back. We're not going to give a preference on that, but I want them to play physical defense and crash. Some crash, others run. So we're going to do that. And that is the way the team is going to be ready to go. So we have that. Now, training. I want to go down here to this rookie, this Bruce Griffith. Okay? And I really want him to become stronger. I want him to be that defensive dude that's going to be there. So I don't care about his ball handling. I don't. I want him to be a defensive guy all the way around. I want him to be strong, and we're going to put the intensity very high on him. The reason we're going to do that is I want him to develop as he's on the bench, because I really feel like at some point either Boban or Dwight Howard's going to get hurt, and he's actually going to be forced to be a 7-footer off the bench, and I want him to be ready. So that's the way we're going to handle him. Everybody else can just go as normal. So we will see how this goes. Be able to keep track of that as things are. As far as the prospect scouting, as you can see, this is the rookie class. You got Cade Cunningham, Kamiga, Jalen Green. There's going to be different guys. We're going to be looking about all of these different guys at the center position. So you're going to want, all of these guys to be looked at. You've got some really good possibilities. And so I'm really excited about what's coming. But we're definitely going to want to pick up another center, because like I said, I see maybe one of Boban or Dwight being held over for the next season and being used to mentor this rookie who's probably going to step right in and be forced to start. So you look at the way the draft's going to go. I mean, none of that is a shock. Some of these names are already starting to pop up. So we'll see how all this goes. So that is the way we are going to start the season. If I had to make a prediction, if I had to guess, we're going to struggle. And if you notice, we do play 3 out of the first 4 on the road, and then every other game home and away, home and away, home and away. So early on, we do play a slight bit more on the road than we do at home. We do have a streak of 3 straight home games there. Play 5 out of 6 at home before back-to-back road games. And then there's another stretch there where it seems like there's quite a bit of road games there in a 2-week period. So early on, it's going to be interesting. We will see just what kind of season that we get whenever we come back for the very next edition of our new My League attempt. We'll be coming back. The next video is going to be playing through our first season as the Las Vegas Vipers, and whether or not we can make a true run at it. So come on back with us, and we look forward to another run with this My League. So leave us some likes. Tell us what you think we should do with the roster as we move forward. Give us some comments over what you think about how we did in the expansion draft. And maybe make some predictions. Do you think we'll win 30 games or more? Do you think we'll be that expansion team that breaks into the playoffs as a surprise? Only you all can tell for sure. So let us know what you think, and we'll see you again in our next My League video.